David was a professor at the local university, and Samantha had a successful career in marketing. Everything seemed to be going smoothly, until one day Samantha found out the devastating truth: her husband had been cheating on her with one of his students. It all started when Samantha noticed that David had been coming home late from work more often than usual. She didn't think much of it at first, assuming he had been caught up with work. But as the weeks went on, she began to feel increasingly suspicious. One night, she decided to follow him after he left the house. She saw him drive to a local cafe and meet up with a young woman who looked to be in her early 20s. Samantha was shocked to see David holding hands with her, and even more horrified when they kissed passionately. Samantha felt as though her world had been shattered. She couldn't believe that her husband would betray her like this. She confronted him the next day, demanding to know what was going on. David initially denied everything, but eventually, he broke down and admitted that he had been having an affair with one of his students. Samantha was devastated. She couldn't believe that the man she had loved and trusted for so many years had been unfaithful to her. She felt humiliated and embarrassed, and didn't know how to tell her children. She decided to confront the other woman, who was still attending David's class. Samantha went to the university and waited outside the classroom, determined to confront her husband's mistress. When the class ended, the young woman came out of the classroom, looking startled to see Samantha waiting for her. Samantha confronted her, demanding to know how she could sleep with a married man. The young woman looked ashamed and apologetic, saying that she had never meant to hurt anyone. She claimed that David had pursued her relentlessly, and that she had finally given in to his advances. Samantha felt disgusted by the young woman's excuses. She couldn't believe that someone so young and inexperienced could be so manipulative. She left the university feeling even more hurt and betrayed. For the next few weeks, Samantha tried to come to terms with what had happened. She and David went to counseling, but Samantha found it difficult to trust him again. David was full of remorse and promised to do everything in his power to make it up to her. He cut off all contact with the other woman and promised to be faithful to Samantha for the rest of his life. Despite David's promises, Samantha struggled to move on from the betrayal. She felt like a fool for not seeing the signs earlier, and wondered if she could ever trust anyone again. It wasn't until months later, when Samantha was at a work conference, that she met someone who made her feel alive again. Samantha wasn't looking for love, but when she met Adam, she felt a connection that she hadn't felt in years. They talked for hours, and Samantha found herself opening up to him about her past. Adam was kind and compassionate, and he listened to her without judgment. Slowly but surely, Samantha began to let go of her anger and resentment towards David. She realized that she didn't need him to feel happy and fulfilled. She filed for divorce, and David moved out of their home. Samantha started dating Adam, and they fell in love quickly. She knew that Adam was the one for her, and she was grateful for the experience of being betrayed by David, as it led her to the love of her life. At first, Emily was thrilled when her new dentist, Dr. David, offered to give her a free teeth whitening treatment. She had always been self-conscious about her smile and was eager to see the results. However, after several appointments, Emily began to feel a strange attraction towards Dr. David. She couldn't explain it, but she found herself looking forward to each appointment, hoping to catch a glimpse of him. One day, while lying in the dental chair, Emily couldn't resist the temptation any longer. She flirted with Dr. David, and to her surprise, he flirted back. They exchanged numbers, and from that day on, their relationship took a forbidden turn. Emily knew that cheating on her husband, Jack, was wrong, but she couldn't help herself. She was addicted to the thrill of the forbidden, and Dr. David was the perfect partner in crime. They met up at hotels, in the back of his dental office, and even in his car during lunch breaks. However, as the weeks went on, Emily began to feel guilty. She loved her husband, but she couldn't stop seeing Dr. David. She tried to end things several times, but he always managed to persuade her to stay. One day, Emily went to Dr. David's office for an appointment, only to find him with another patient. She was shocked to see him cheating on her, and it was then that she realized that she had been nothing more than another patient to him. She stormed out of the office, feeling angry and betrayed. When Emily got home, she found her husband waiting for her. He had known about her affair for weeks, and he had been waiting for her to come clean. Emily was devastated. She had lost the love of her life because of her selfish actions. Over the next few months, Emily tried to make amends. She went to therapy, apologized to her husband, and even quit her job to start fresh. It was a difficult road, but with time, Emily and Jack were able to heal their relationship. As for Dr. David, Emily never saw him again. She realized that their affair had been nothing more than a fleeting infatuation, and that the real love of her life was waiting for her at home. In the end, Emily learned a valuable lesson about the consequences of cheating. She had lost the trust of the person she loved the most, and it was a painful lesson that she would never forget. She realized that true love and happiness are not found in the arms of another, but within oneself.